This is Andi Purewal, Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by the Commonwealth Cruiserweight Champion Chris Billam-Smith here in Wales. Chris, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks mate. Yourself?
I'm all good, mate. Obviously, good to hear you doing well yourself. As I mentioned, we're here in Wales. You return to the ring once again on May 9th. Nathan Thorley defending your Commonwealth title for the first time. Talks about Nathan, and what do you know about him?
Not much. Obviously, he hasn't really. He's not very well known. Seen a few clips on YouTube, but nothing major. He's just come up to cruiserweight recently, like in the last year or so. Was a light heavyweight, was Welsh light heavyweight champion. He's undefeated though, and the Welsh can produce very good fighters, so I can't take him lightly. Like I said, he's undefeated, so he'll be confident coming in, and he'll be looking to, I imagine, what will be seen as an upset. He'll be looking to cause an upset on the night, but I'll be preparing properly. I've been in camp all year, a few lighter weeks here and there. Just been out sparring Mairis Briedis for 2 weeks, so I've had great prep as a pre-camp, and now we've got 8-9 weeks of good training.
I know you're going to want to go out and put on a show, put on a performance, because obviously the domestic scene currently is packed with a lot of potential fights for yourself. I know you're keen on the Reactpool rematch amongst many, but how do you kind of see the bout going between yourself and Nathan on May 9th?
I'm going to have to be patient, have a look at him, because like I said, he hasn't boxed anyone of note. He's fought journeyman at cruiserweight. Obviously boxed Jermaine Asser, and stopped him, but he's been stopped a few times himself anyway, so not really much you can take from looking at his record. So I've got to go in there and be switched on early on, have a look at him, see how he comes up and how he shapes up, and then go about my work. And I think that's what I imagine Shane will tell me to do, because like I said, we don't know much about him, but just to get a foothold in the fight early doors, and obviously, as always, look to take him out.
You've obviously had time to reflect since your Craig Glover win. What did you make of your performance?
It was good. It was decent. It was nowhere near what I'm capable of. It was nerves going in, but I was confident as well. There was just a lot riding on the fight for me. But yeah, the performance was okay. I took too many shots, but I knew I was hurting him, and I didn't feel hurt in there at any point. So I felt like I could, maybe take a few more risks, and that's what I did and got the stoppage. But because we don't really know how hard Nathan punches, so maybe take less risks in this fight, but just and see what happens there. But yeah, the glove fight was a good performance, but I've improved even since then in training, and then obviously just come back from sparring Briedis, and I've improved again. And sparring the number one cruiserweight in the world, you can't do anything but improve, and you've got to be switched on every round, every second. And I'm really pleased with how I performed out there.
Talk about that sparring with Briedis. How did it go? How did you find the experience? Yeah,
brilliant. They looked after us well. I mean, the gym was in a dungeon in the middle of Riga somewhere in this massive centre, so it surprised me. But I think he's building it, getting his own gym sorted at the moment, something a bit more up to date. But it was humbling to see a world champion, the world number one, training in that sort of environment. But it was great experience for me. It was, he's proven himself at the very top level. He gave Usyk arguably his hardest fight, went to points, so he's a tough bloke, and he gave me some great work. And I learnt so much out there. Had to adapt and learn and really think during the round, during the spar. So I really feel like I've improved as a fighter from the 2 weeks.
What was it like from that aspect of just being in Riga itself? Obviously, you just mentioned he was training in a dungeon at times, in comparison to what you'd be used to in Kent with Shane and the rest of the group. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was slightly different. I had Josh Pritchard with me, so we had the banter still going, the Wigan gym chat was still going, so that's all good. But they looked after us. We were staying in a nice hotel and stuff, and the food was all good. It was just where we sparred was a bit of a rough gym, but that's what you want. It's you don't want it easy. We're down in Kent, and we've just got double beds. I found out the other night, so we're all buzzing because we've got double beds now. Now we're getting treated like world champions, and but now it was a really good experience for me. I love Riga as a city. We got out. I was training in the morning when on the days I wasn't sparring, and then get out and see the city. It felt like a holiday outside of the sparring and the training. So it was nice. Mentally, it was like a break, but it was also mentally very tiring at the same time because you've got to focus on sparring the world number one. But it was a great experience. Absolutely loved it.
I know you was keen to have a show in Bournemouth, which couldn't be pulled off because you couldn't get an opponent. I spoke to Eddie about it earlier. Where did everything kind of end up with that? I know Eddie's mentioned you just couldn't get an opponent, but what kind of discussions and how deep into negotiation did you go to try and get a showdown in Bournemouth?
It was penciled in. They offered Luke Watkins a fight. As far as I'm aware, Luke Watkins got offered decent money for the fight, and then asked for more money, and well, not him necessarily, but his team asked for more money and a deal after it, even in defeat. So it's not really how it works. We got to take risks. You didn't see me doing that against Glover, where it was a lot more was on the line if I'd lost to Glover and things like that. But I think they thought they were worth more because they boxed on Sky before, even though the fights on Sky had been against Lawrence and Isaac, and he'd lost both of them. So maybe they sort of priced themselves out the fight, which was a shame because he's from Swindon. I believe Luke would have been up for the fight. I just think business got in the way, unfortunately. Me and Luke have sparred many times over the years when I was an amateur, and we've had some wicked spars, and I believe it would have been a wicked fight and a great show. And Bournemouth, like I've said before, it's never had a televised professional show, so fingers crossed we can get that working at some point, maybe in the summer or later in the year. But obviously I've got to focus on May the 9th first.
Eddie did say he would like to do something on the summer down on the south coast. Don't sound too bad to me, Chris.
Nah, it'd be good, mate. If the weather's good, it's a Saturday night, there'll be stag doos down there. You can go down the beach in the day, mate, and get some sun. It's a nice beach down there, and it's hectic in the summer, but there's no better place in the summer.
Hopefully something can be pulled off then, Chris. But before I do let you go, obviously your newest campmate, Anthony Fowler, successful on Saturday night. I know you're giving me a cheeky grin there. Can't really take much away from because of his opponent. Obviously, he had to pull out on Tuesday of fight week. But what do you think we did see from the work he's been doing with Shane for the level of opponent he was in with?
I think the speed of him sort of came out a bit, and the confidence being around him. Maybe you couldn't really see it on the night, but the confidence, like in the ring, you couldn't see it. But just being around him and speaking to his mates who were there before he joined the camp and after, and he's just much happier. And I think he wants to get out again before he fights Fitzgerald, ideally. I believe that's getting spoke about in the summer. So hopefully they can do that. And hopefully he can get out again. But he's very confident and happy and comfortable where he's at. Josh Pritchard said he had a very slippery opponent. I thought that was one of the best puns I heard from the other night. I don't know what happened there. Maybe we'll lend him some boots next time if he gets invited back, which is unlikely. But he's Fowler's good. I've seen the improvements in the gym myself. Shane's really happy about his progressing. So if hopefully the Fitzgerald rematch can happen, I believe he'll really do a number on him and then progress from there and go on to achieve great things.
Well, Chris, I will leave you now to go and enjoy your new double bed and play FIFA on your way back to Bournemouth. As always, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Thanks, Speeds Boxing Social.
Nice one. Cheers, Andy.